4 tosses out of 4. That's Ian Bertham's record of flipping the coin against the West Indians so far this summer. And a very, very good one it was to win at Lord's today. Welcome to the highlights of the first day's play of this second Cornhill Test match at Lord's. And news, first of all, of the team changes announced just before the start of play. England had Gatting in the side instead of Gar, and of the nominated 12, Dilley was left out, and Derek Underwood, dare we give a little cheer there for the spinner in the side, Derek Underwood came in third from the bottom of the England list. The West Indians, or Clive Lloyd, came back into the side, and Colin Croft is down there fourth from the bottom, and he has taken Malcolm Marshall's place. An extremely good toss to win, as I said a little earlier, because this was a pitch at Lord's almost bereft of grass. Looked as though it'd be a marvellous batting surface, and Boycott and Gooch, after the toss had been won, looked to be in no trouble at all. Very little bounce in the surface. The only problem they had was from the light, and quite a good crowd present were slightly surprised when the umpires decided to go off for bad light very, very early in the day. There was a 15-minute break, and then play resumed from being 7 for no wicket to 8 for no wicket, where we pick it up with Michael Holding coming into bowl to Geoffrey Boycott. Your commentators are Tom Graveney and Jim Laker.
Boycott to face. And little play and miss there outside off stump. See that again from the camera at the nursery end. Ball just straightening up. Roberts ready to bowl his third over of the morning. That's a lovely shot. Over pitch, driven firmly and fiercely through the covers for 4. And for the second time this morning, Gooch very quick to seize the opportunity of the over pitch ball. Around this time, just off the short run. Much to Boycott's delight, he overpitched it leg stump, and he's clipped it very firmly wide of mid-on. Haynes giving chase, touch and go, and the ball's just beaten him. It touched the ropes, and eagle eye of Bill Ali, I think, fairly quick to spot it. Haynes saying, what's the matter? But absolutely no question at all that that ball touched the rope. This time back to the long run. And that's edge, and he's gone, he's caught behind, no question at all about it. Little deflection, Boycott never in line. It wasn't a particularly dangerous ball, in fact. And in fairness, I think Boycott has only got himself to blame. Didn't quite get behind it. And Holding, who struggled all the way to get wickets at Trent Bridge, picks up pretty vital wicket, an early one there of Boycott. See, that ball hardly moved at all, and Boycott really never in line.
Nervous tension there, the slightly heavy breathing and pursing of the lips. And always nice to get off the mark. One to Taveri, 17 to Gooch. And here's Andy Roberts. Foad Bacchus. It's a bit chilly here at Lord's. There's a cool breeze blowing across, and all the players have some sort of sweater on, some long and some short-sleeved. That'll do for 4 runs. First ball of Holding's new spell, having switched to pavilion end. Absolutely no movement there. In fact, if anything, it seemed to come back down the hill. As we look at it from pavilion, the ground slopes from left to right. It's racing away there down to right-hand corner of the ground, down near the tavern.
That's well run.
Yes, running between wickets very important against this type of attack. You can't expect to be hitting fours all the time.
So Holding still in action from this pavilion end. And Gooch on 29. And, a couple of runs here for him. So the 50 comes up for England. Might seem to have taken a little time, but in fact it's coming up at the start of the 19th over. And in terms of runs per over, it's quite a fair start that England have made. There's a friendly full toss, and he's picked that up beautifully. 4 runs. Neat, pretty swift reaction to put that away as quickly as Graham Gooch did there. Not an easy one. It's quite a high full toss. Obviously slipped out of Holding's hand. There's old Father Time playing up there, being blown around. That's a good shot too, very firmly off the back foot for 4, square on the offside. Perfectly timed there by Graham Gooch, who really looks in very good order here this morning. It's a 5th 4 to Graham Gooch. That's short, hooked away quite nicely back to square, and that's going through for 4. 6 fours now to Graham Gooch in fine fettle here this morning.
And good to see Graham Gooch hooking the ball. I'm sure he's a good hooker, and sometimes he gets between two, not deciding whether he's going to hook or not. That's a good hook shot.
That's beat mid-on. And Tavray just hesitating there a minute.
Just 3 more runs added to take England's score at lunch up to 77 for 1. Gooch on 48, Tavray on 15, and Gooch already dominating proceedings there, and the West Indian bowlers unable to get any excessive bounce out of this very placid Lord's surface. Here's the second ball after lunch. The bowler is Colin Croft. Gooch is batting, no addition to the score. He's still on 48. And that'll be it. A lovely stroke away through mid-wicket by Graham Gooch. Croft slanting in at him, and applause from Tavray for his partner reaching 50, and a very good 50 it's been. It's his 9th Test half-century in just 22 matches for England. 6 minutes from 78 balls. Single takes Gooch on to 56.
The bouncer, he hooks it uppishly without quite middling it. Suspicion of a top edge, and gets 2. That's 100 up for England in the 33rd over. Quite safe, the stroke, and Gooch is 66.
Richards the bowler, nice friendly full toss, and my word, he's put that way in devastating style. 6 runs over square leg. Not too many 6s in Test matches, but that's an absolute gift there for Graham Gooch. And Andy Roberts still plugging away from this pavilion. Oh, beautiful shot. Absolutely cracking shot there from Graham Gooch. Foot way down the wicket, a full swing of the bat. And went like a rocket square on the offside. And Richards once again from the nursery end here at Lord's. That's a fine shot. Lovely shot through extra cover. That takes Graham Gooch, in fact, on to 1,000 runs for the season in first-class cricket. He's the first man to reach that target. And his contribution in this particular match to 87. Well, that's 4 more. Almost a short-arm jab there. Really dug it out of the block hole. And got some indication there of the power of the man. Looking down, admiring that great thick blade. And said that just about went off the bottom of the bat. So Graham Gooch into the 90s now. Is this going to be his first Test match 100? Well, that's another 4. No nervous 90s at the moment. Rushes it through the offside. 3 boundaries in this over. 2 through extra cover and 1 straight. And the crowd alight. 95 out of 130.
Perhaps one of the secrets of why he's having the problem might show in that stroke.
Yes, feet hardly moved.
There he is again live now, and the single there to give Graham Gooch the strike. That's one of the things Taveray must improve on, is running between the wickets. Must push the little single. Well, Gooch is there now. 99 out of 138. He won't play much better than this. He'll chat to himself there to concentrate. No ball call. And the 100 for Graham Gooch. And it could hardly happen to a nicer fellow. Really top-class performance. He's in for only 188 minutes for that century. 145 balls he faced, 6 and 13 fours. His first Test match century, and although he's not given to a great deal of smiling on the field, inwardly he will be thrilled, completely delighted.
Now we want another one from him.
A change of action there from Colin Croft. David Backus, the fielder. That change of action actually got him in fairly close to the line of the stumps there. Barry Mayer, the umpire, just having a little look. Stroke. Apart from the 4 runs it brought, it was a delightful piece of cricket, that. It's a great stroke. I don't think the no ball call made any difference. Croft is quick enough that the ball would be so far down that Gooch would be committed to the stroke. It's a half volley, and it got what it deserved. Pitching outside off stump, and a fine stroke that. Might be a half volley, but it still has to be hit and placed. Timing was there that time. It wasn't as hard hit a stroke, but it'll still pick up 3 runs for Graham Gooch. That 150 came up for England in 206 minutes. First 50 in 79 minutes, then the second in 64, the third in 63, and this is the 49th over, so they're still up around 52, 53 runs per 100 balls, and that's terrific stuff. And he's gone. LBW. Graham Gooch is out for 123. There was quite a hesitation there, and just a half-hearted appeal, or so it seemed from here. And I'm assuming from our angle that it was LBW that had umpire Ali raised the finger. And justifiably, the West Indians join in the applause. A standing ovation for Graham Gooch. A splendid innings, that. One of the best we'll see all summer, I should think, from a player on either side. Just 2 more runs added to take the total up to 167 for 2. 123 to Graham Gooch. And what a marvellous innings that was. Really outstanding performance, with Chris Tavares struggling along there, being completely outclassed, but still hanging in there to make his 27. After tea, 6 more runs added to take the score to 173 for 2. Bob Woolmer was on 4 when Michael Holding came in to bowl to him. Your commentators are Tom Graveney and Jim Laker.
Woolmer pinching a single, goes on to 5, and those 5 runs, in fact, take him on to exactly 1,000 runs in Test match cricket. He's got them in pretty good time, too. It's 17 tests. And 1,000 brought right up to date on the computer. Good average there, 37. Best score at the Oval. Many will remember a long, long innings there of 149. 2 other hundreds and 2 50s. And he's bowled him all over the place. Off a no ball. Would you believe it? The crowd up. Colin Croft not very pleased. And of course, with the no ball being called off the front foot these days, it's almost impossible for a batsman to get a free hit at the ball, and it's quite likely that Tavares would have been out in any case. I think that's the disappointment that's been expressed there by Colin Croft. I think you can see the foot there well over the crease. A good call by Barry Mayer. In fact, that of course was fair enough. The ball pitching round about leg stump in that instance. Croft here now, back over the wicket to Woolmer. Oh, got that through the slip area. That'll go through for 4. No third man down there. Well, not where he intended it, of course. It was well pitched up. He was looking to hit it through the offside. Well, he's forced a man down to the third man boundary now. And just as well. And that's the little walking shot he played. But Desmond Haynes is down there, does the fielding. So Bob Woolmer goes on to 10. Now 3 runs and over approximately, and that really largely due to the efforts of Graham Gooch. Well, he's played the shot again. No third man. Richard giving chase, but he'll have to give it best. And it goes over for 4 more.
And here comes Joel Garner in now. Bowl to Woolmer, who snicks it, and he's gone. He's out. Short ball outside the off stump. And Bob Woolmer looked to square cut it. Didn't really get over there, and edged it to Kallicharran at first slip.
Be a relief for Gaddings close relatives and friends, and for the batsman himself. .200 comes up for England now for the loss of 3 wickets. Boycott for 8, Gooch 123, and Woolmer 15. That 200 took 291 minutes, just under 69 overs, so England are fractionally below 50 runs, 100 balls now. To Mike Gatting, a sperm stroke away behind square from an over-pitch delivery into double figures now. And more runs there for England, 4 more, with Murray giving away 4 byes, but that was rather wide down the leg side. So there's 8 runs, very valuable to England after rather a sticky period. The fieldsman behind square. So far Gatting hasn't been afraid to play the pull and the hook. He hasn't quite timed one so far.
And now the 2 least experienced of the England batsmen together, Tavery and Gatting. Mike Gatting here at Lord's on his home ground, the ground that had a lot of runs this year. And having now to face that extra little bit of pace that invariably comes when Michael Holding is in the attack. And 3 spells so far today, adding up to 17 overs in all. And he's bowled in. A great return for Michael Holding. Disappointment there for Gatting. Sort of feels he got in, he got a sight of the ball, he was playing quite well, and it was a disappointment to get out under those sort of circumstances. Ball probably just drifting in the shade. So England now 219, 4 men out, with Gatting bowled by Holding for 18. Cutting down the run once more. That was a very quick one. Off that short run, it's quite amazing the pace this man can generate. Ironic cheers there for another Tavery single. Certainly showed concentration and application out there. And he's gone this time. Beautifully snapped up at slip there, and the long innings of Tavery is over. Greenwich takes the catch, Holding picks up his 4th wicket. And England starting to struggle here now at 220 for 5, with Tavery gone, caught Greenwich, bowled Holding for 42. And Derek Underwood away, turned it nicely off his body. That's 2 runs as Andy Roberts does the fielding. Botham was away with a couple of runs down to Roberts at Deep Square. And he's going to get more. Hardwell trying to back up. Slipped through his legs, and they're going to get 4 here all wrong. Andy Roberts not exactly over the moon about that. It's a nice full toss outside the leg stump, and very obligingly put away for 4 by Botham. And he's given him this time. Up goes the finger, the deadly finger of Bill Alley, and away goes Derek Underwood. So 2:31 for 6. The night watchman falls. LBW to Ghana for just 3.
This was well pitched up, right up to him, and smacked him in front of off stump.
So the West Indies tails up once again as Ghana comes into Willie. Willie pushing it away on the onside, takes a single. 2:32 at the moment. We're getting one more over. And the big shout, he's gone. LBW, and Ghana has done what was asked of him. And both of them looking up in there, looking at the clock, but in fact it wasn't quite half-past. And West Indies have struck a vital blow with the very last delivery of the day. Reduced England to 232 for 7. After they were flying high at one time on 163 for 2. And what a sad story it would have been without that marvellous innings of Graham Gooch. So another decision answered there in favour of the bowler by Bill Alley.
Well, what a disaster that turned out to be for England. In the last session there, 65 runs made and 5 wickets went down. Graham Gooch, that wonderful performance up the top there, 123. Taveray, 42 in a long, long time. The innings really got bogged down other than for Gooch, and it only needs a quick glance at the scores on the right-hand side there to show it. A fine performance from the West Indian bowlers. They really did turn it on out there today on a pitch that was all in favour of batting. There's nothing there at all for the bowlers. Holding, some recompense for the bad luck he had at Trent Bridge. And Joel Garner, there he is again, 3 for 33, 19.1 overs and 6 maidens. So really, I'm afraid the one bright spot in the day was the batting of Graham Gooch as far as England supporters were concerned. And at the end of the game, Peter West had a word with him after he'd made his maiden century in Test cricket.
Marvellous innings, Graham. It must have been a very nice feeling because it's been a longish wait.
Yes, I've played for a few years now, and I was always hoping that I maybe had to get a Test 100, and I finally just about managed to do it, so I'm very pleased.
What went through your mind when you got to the 90s?
Well, it happened quite quickly, actually, because I sort of progressed from 70s to the 90s quite quickly, and I sort of found myself on 95. And I sort of got a little bit nervous then, and was a little bit, not worried, but didn't want to make any mistakes. And fortunately, got a few singles, and I managed to get that one to make it 100, and I was very pleased.
Yes, I imagine if I asked you which shot of many magnificent ones that you played that gave you the most pleasure, that might be the one, the little push.
Yeah, it was nice to, when he dug it in on a pretty slow wicket, and it just dropped down there, and I started, and Chris went, and once we started off, I knew that I was going to make it, and he was, so I was quite pleased.
Quite pleased? What about a little bit of good old-fashioned enthusiasm? Well, in fact, Gooch is quite a retiring character, although he has the reputation of being a funny man on and off the field, and he's also a very shy and modest man, and that was a typical reaction from him, but perhaps we can say it for him. It was one of the best innings seen at Lord's, and it's one of the best innings that will be seen in the whole of this summer, and you can throw in any of the West Indians who will bat as well, and that might be something to spur Viv Richards on tomorrow. Certainly their bowlers did wonderfully well today. Apart from Gooch, no bright spots for England, and I'm afraid the way this pitch was playing today, with no excessive bounce and very little movement off the seam, it'll be surprising if the West Indians don't capitalise on their wonderful out cricket today and go on and make life very, very difficult for England in this second Cornhill Test match. Day of this game where England disappointed so much yesterday after that marvellous innings played by Graham Gooch. They started the day at 232 for 7, and they'd scored just 1 run, 233 for 7, when Michael Holding came in the second over of the day. The batsman at the nursery end is Alan Knott. Inside edge onto the pad for Alan Knott. Goes to 1, Willie's 2, it's 2:34 for 7. It's a good piece of cricket. There was, for a fraction of a second, the chance of the run out there, although Knott got back in the end.
Yes, this is a very good piece of cricket. He's a fine athlete, Michael Holding. You see him turn and he just beats him back.
Going through the slip cordon for 4. Michael Holding's not going to be too pleased about that. It was just about a perfect delivery, that. You don't see that man put down very much. Oh, what a lovely piece of cricket that was. He's got this enormous reach, and he's a very, very good catcher and ground fielder. That's one of the best catches you'll see in a long time. Must have picked it up late because Knott was aiming it round about mid-on. That drop catch by Vivian Richards, where he missed Knott, was made up for there by a sensational diving effort from Joel Garner. And Willie's gone for 4. This is a great performance by Michael Holding. Peter Willey left stranded there with the 2 tail enders, Bob Willis and Mike Hendrick. And in any case, was never able to take control in the time he was there. He batted for 55 minutes for his 4 runs.
It really was a pretty thankless position he found himself in. He was trying to force the ball, got a little inside edge and dragged it back onto the off stump.
There's 4 runs, and valuable ones too for England. 10-11 might just as well play their shots. Clive Lloyd doing the chasing. .250 up for England, 251 for 9. Prof now, mean to bowl his 20th over. And the misfield from Garner. What a funny game this is. That's a sensational catch and then lets one run through his fingers for 4. That's safe. And wasn't gone that far short of being 6 off the edge. Long run for Holding. Willis taking strike. Backus. And overthrows. 4 of them. Well, he had the chance of the run out. Just a question of deciding if you want to stand the bowler's annoyance once you've missed the stumps. Bowled him. Garner brought back just for that purpose, to break this troublesome last wicket partnership. Has done so, and he and Holding have taken all the England wickets to fall. And it's no wonder those 2 men are smiling. Well might they be laughing away today, having bowled out England between them for 269. A really superb performance from both men. Michael Holding, so unlucky at Trent Bridge in this match here at Lord's. 28 overs, 11 maidens, 6 for 67. Joel Garner, 24.2 overs, 8 maidens, 4 for 36. Between them, all 10 wickets listed there on the England batting card. Today, Willie was bowled by Holding for 4. Northcourt, Garner bowled Holding 9. Willis, the last man out there, bowled by Garner for 14, and Hendrick not out 10. 269, and that really was a super performance from the West Indies. Their out cricket was very, very good. They dropped a chance yesterday. That was put down by Viv Richards, and he was waiting in the wings to come into bat today to delight this Lord's crowd. First of all, though, it was Greenidge and Haynes at the start of the West Indian innings. Here's Bob Willis from the pavilion end, bowling the first ball. An aggressive start in West Indies. And that's equally good a stroke. 2 short ones this over from Willis, and both past Boycott's left hand at cover point. That's some good footwork, giving himself plenty of room in the crease there and not frightened to get up on the toes. Oh, good shot. That one went very fast. No chance of Gully picking that up. 12 on the board now. And once again, that back foot going right across the back. Desmond Haynes is off the mark with the last ball of Botham's over. .13 on the board now, 12 of those to Greenidge, 1 to Haynes. That was a fine effort. Finished up as 4 runs to Desmond Haynes, but Underwood on his wrong side hurled himself away there. I don't think got his fingers to it.
Ian Botham. It's a handsome shot. 4 runs through an empty mid-off position. Half volley. That's a good stop in the covers. Mike Gatting. Got a single for it. Gatting won't stop that one. He wasn't playing it there, but it's 4 runs.
That's got to be close. And not dissimilar to the way in which Botham was dismissed yesterday. I just had the feeling the instant Greenwich played the stroke that he'd picked the wrong line there. He thought the ball was much further out than it turned out to be. So Greenwich has gone for 25. He looked as though he meant business this morning, but in the end the attack meant his downfall. That first wicket falling at 37. Greenwich out for 25 and Haynes 12, and here's how it happened.
And really, it's just a complete lack of judgment, really.
What a lovely way to bring up your 3,000 runs in Test matches. First ball, the swinging half volley, crunched away past the right hand of extra cover. Superb timing from Richards there. Slow one. Actually, not bad thinking, the change of pace there, but it was just that little bit too full. And although Desmond Haynes hasn't scored since lunch, 22 minutes, Vivian Richards has more than made up for that. He's gone on now to 26. And now it's Desmond Haynes beating Underwood at cover point. Botham. Great stroke. It was short. Nowhere near where Botham would have preferred it to land. You still have to hit it for 4.
And Vivian Richards is showing that there's no margin for error on this very, very good batting pitch. Anything a little bit out of line or out of length, it's going for 4.
Well, no one could get that. Not even Joel Garner could have reached that one. And it was a superbly timed shot. The last 50 runs have come in 25 minutes.
Here it comes now, and you see how far that foot goes over? And he just takes it in and whips it wide of mid-on.
Well, I thought that was a good decision there by Barry Mayer, whipping across the line, but I think that slope here at Lord's made sure the ball was going to go slightly down it and just miss leg stump, Tom. The line, but I think that slope here at Lord's made sure the ball was going to go slightly down it and just miss leg stump, Tom.
Here she goes. Yes, definitely missing leg stump. Going down the leg side, he's well down the wicket.
So the extra slip has moved in now for Desmond Haynes. Oh, that's beautifully placed, 4 runs. Really pitched fairly wide, and Haynes flinging the bat at it. One always believes this is a bit of a personal battle between these two. England's most gifted cricketer with a ball in his hand, and this really superb batsman from the West Indies. Both great friends, both club mates. Richards tucks it away down to Willis, takes one more. lefty partnership. And the big gap through mid-on. It's not the first time that Botham has overpitched on leg stump. And Haynes is not even bothering to run. There's the ball on. It's not the first time that Botham has overpitched on leg stump. And Haynes is not even bothering to run. There's the ball is always going to win. Nobody back there. That's 4 runs all the way. Well, Willis with the extra man on the leg side here for Richards. Leaves a nice comfortable gap. And this is Richards on to 43. And that's expertly placed as well, wide of mid-on. And that'll race away for 4 more. When he gets a boundary, he seems to go in for a clutch of them. Seen 9 shots square on the offside. Showing his great ability all around the wicket there. Works that between mid-wicket and mid. Goes on now to 47, total on 99. And that certainly brings up the 100. Won't be good enough for him to make 50, but it'll take him on to 49. So the 100 comes up for West Indies in the end of the 29th over. In reply to an England all-out total of 269. So there's a 50 for Viv Richards. Desperate effort by Underwood there to cut it off. It wasn't to be, and Viv Richards goes through for yet another Test match 50. And once again, it's come in remarkably good time. He's only been in there an hour and 5 minutes. And he in fact received 57 balls and he's found the boundary 9 times. Yet again, he faces up to Willis. Throws himself into it, finds the gap again between cover and mid-off. And very quickly over the ropes. 10 fours now in Richards' runs here today. So 40 out. Underwood to resume from the nursery end. And Richards to resume as well. 4 more. And his placement in this innings has been quite uncanny. Seems to know instinctively where all the gaps are. That finding quite a wide one between bowler and mid-on. And just look at that. Hardly any room at all between extra cover and mid-off, but this man has found it. He's crashed another boundary. And the mayhem here continues. Look how the bat's picked up and look how it follows through.
There's no doubt that Richards does intimidate bowlers, and that's part of his greatness as a player. He gets on top of them and they're frightened to bowl a bad ball. At the moment, Underwood really over-pitching, consistent.
And again, it's quite uncanny. One can't help repeating the fact, but not a great gap this time, square on the offside, but bang through the middle it goes. And no fielders had any chance at all with any of these boundaries. 67 his score now, and 13 times he's found sufficient gap in the field to reach the ropes. And that's another. Beautifully placed again through mid-wicket. So I've seen it through extra cover, we've seen it straight, square on the offside, and now through mid-wicket. Every shot in the book flying from the bat of this really superb craftsman. And poor Derek Underwood doesn't really know what's hit him. Placement, timing, all to perfection. Consultation, it's not usually a chat where Bilal is concerned, it's usually a monologue. I haven't seen Barry Mayer open his mouth, but we got an odd nod. I'd love to see a confrontation between Ali and Truman. I don't know who'd come off the better. But they've decided that that's it. I can't think that the light was really worrying Viv Richards in that over. But the umpires are the men in charge. They've decided that the light's not good enough to continue.
Now that stop for bad light meant that an early tee was taken by the players, and after tea just 2 runs added to take the West Indies total on to 126 for 1. Vivian Richards, the great man, had made 72 when Graham Gooch came in to bowl to him from the nursery end.
Oh, word, that was a great shot. Stood. And I don't think Jeff Boycott's going to be too pleased about that, because there's every reason to suppose he might have been able to cut that off. And Willis now to bowl to Haynes. No chance for anyone to move there. Fabulous shot. The 100 partnership up there. It's a little bit like Graham Gooch and Chris Tavares. But Graham Gooch would have been proud to play a stroke like that. So would anyone, for that matter. Beautiful. Beautiful to watch.
And here he comes in, down goes that front foot. Beautifully timed, not really a half volley, but he swings the bat so straight through the line that, and times it so well. There's just no way you can bowl at the man when he's in this sort of mood.
Four more to Viv Richards, beating extra cover and mid-off as well. Must. Oh. Well, I started to say it must be out. It's unbelievable that it could have swirled away there over Hendrick's head and still evaded Gatting and Willis, who were at extra cover and mid-off. Richards on 97. Just a little attempted turn there away on the onside. Ball held up a little in the pitch. Moore takes Richards on to 99. When Vivian Richards and Desmond Haynes put together their 100 partnership, Richards had made 82 of those runs.
So just one ball left in this over for Richards as Hendrick comes in. And what a good over. Most of the applause today has been for Richards, but this time it's certainly for the bowler, Mike Hendrick. So focus again on Desmond Haynes. It's just got an inside edge on that, no signal from umpire Ali. So it's Haynes 46, Richards 99. And both of them attempting to try the similar sort of treatment here for Richards. He too is bowling to just about the identical feel that Hendrick had in the last over. Let's see if he can bowl it as accurately as the Derbyshireman did. Well, he can't, and that's it. Typical flick off the legs brings Viv Richards 2 runs and completes a quite superb century. And as long as you watch cricket, you won't see many better hundreds than that at Lord's. And the entire crowd here rising to their feet in appreciation of a masterly performance. Just 2 hours and 6 minutes for that 100. He's only received 106 balls and he's hit 19 fours. Continues this great run of success in Test match cricket, his 12th Test century, the 42nd of his career and the 4th against England. And his followers there raising their glasses to a very fine player. So Haynes on 48. That's a beautiful late cut. That'll bring him 50 all right. Boycott him in a long chase round there. Did well to prevent the boundary, but 3 runs there to Desmond Haynes takes him on to 2nd successive Test match 50. It's taken him 3 hours and 2 minutes and 138 balls, and he's hit 6 fours. Giving some very good, firm, solid support here to Richards. Just quicten that a little bit. Beat Richards by a nice change of pace. So a little bit more into that.
And that bounced quite high, really. And Viv Richards got very close to it as well.
Well, he can't, and that's it. Typical flick off the legs. Just quicten that a little bit. Beat Richards by a nice change of pace. So a little bit more into that.
And that bounced quite high, really. And Viv Richards got very close to it as well.
Big shout going up for LBW, turned down. So goodish over there from Peter Willey. And again off the final ball, beating the batsman. Confident shout for LBW, but Barry Mayer having none of it. So 196 for 1 here at Lord's, with Haynes on 58 and 111 to Viv Richards. Richards facing on 111. Good shot, but beautifully through mid-wicket. So the 200 comes up for West Indies. 201 for one, and we're only in the 54th over. That takes Desmond Haynes on to 62. And these two now have taken it along from 37 to 201. Third over for Willie. That's swept away by Richards. Just waiting to see if it's cleared the ropes. It just has. It wasn't too far, in fact, away from Mike Gattin. So our first 6. And Peter Willie, who came very close to having an LBW decision in the last over. Eric Underwood has been going away for an average of 5 runs and over since he came on. And that's 4 more. There's nobody out there at deep mid-wicket. And Richards in this form, of course, can work it away from middle stump through those wide open spaces. Well, it's hard really to work out what's going on out there. Peter Willie has bowled 4 excellent overs. One can only presume that he's going to switch him to the other end in place of Underwood. As it seems that Bob Willis is coming back at this pavilion end. Haynes facing on 62. That surprised him and surprised most people out there. Just that little bit of extra bounce. Activity down there for Boycott. Still with his shirt buttoned high at the collar. Peter Willie's going to have a slip coming over the wicket. Both of them's going to slip. 3 on the off and another 5 on the leg side, including a short leg, which I suppose must be a little bit optimistic. And the full toss he starts with. The first over pitch full toss is bowled, and that's going through for 4. Haynes once again has pinched the strike. And that switch of ends didn't do a lot of good for Peter Willie. He gave away more runs in that over than he'd given from the 4 previous ones at the pavilion end. And that's beautifully placed. 4 more. And the runs rattling along. So there it is, the 200 partnership. Come up in only 3 hours. And out of that 200, Richards made 133 of them.
4 offside and 5 leg side, 2 on the leg side boundary. And he's picked the gap.
That's as good as anything he's played today. And my word, there have been some great shots. And it wouldn't have hit the stumps other than receiving an assist from Desmond Haynes, who just gives himself his own personal blessing. And there it is again. That's the reason for it. A lot of applause there for Jeff Boycott. in true Freddie Truman style, he's explaining that one or two there moved off the seam and a couple of others in the air. Willie to continue from the nursery end. And for Viv Richards, they're going to play a short mid-on. Well, it's either a sweet or a £5 note. Oh, it must be gone. Willie has got Richards just trying to push it around the corner. Just meant to be a little gentle push shot for a single. And Graham Dilley coming in must have had his heart in his mouth there for a moment, picked it up in the background, the crowded stand. And Vivian Richards is gone at 145, just 25 minutes before stumps. Marvellous innings. He won't be happy at the way he was dismissed, but it was a great innings.
Hardly a blemish in that innings, and getting the cheer he deserves. Tremendous stroke play, no other word for it. Picking the gaps, manoeuvring the ball, hitting it hard. Just had the one little bit of luck in the 90s when he had a similar top edge stroke which fell free. This time it was right to hand.
And that was one of the finest innings I've ever seen since I've been watching cricket. I'm a fan of Vivian Richards, and today there he gave his fans everything. I did say last night that perhaps he might try and upstage Graham Gooch. Well as Graham Gooch batted, I think Vivian might have managed that today. 265 for 2, and a real hammering for the England bowlers. They stuck to it reasonably well. The fielding was okay. Willis 70 off 17 overs, Botham 71 off 19. Underwood 6 overs for 35. I thought his captain might have shown a little bit more faith in him rather than whip him off as soon as Richards took to him. And the other wicket taker down the bottom there was Peter Willey, 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 33. But real strife, I'm afraid, as far as England fans are concerned. Not so as far as the West Indians are concerned. They've carried all the honours of this match, bowling England out on a really plum track for 269, and then getting to within 4 runs of them with those 8 wickets in hand. And tomorrow, Saturday of this Test match at Lord's, promises to be an absolute blinder for everyone who can get here, and the rest of you who can watch it on television. There was plenty of excitement too down at Eastbourne in the BMW Lords today, and a great sight it was too for the 3rd day of this second Cornhill Test match, where the West Indies started at 265 for 2, just 4 runs behind England, but they had 8 wickets in hand in their first innings. 4 byes took the scores level, 269 all, and then Derek Underwood came in to bowl from the nursery end. He's bowling to Desmond Haynes, whose score is unchanged on 92, and your commentators are Tom Graveney and Jim Laker.
One of your bowls there, it's a great shot, what a marvellous start. Outside leg stump, swept away for 4 by Haynes, that takes him on to 96. There's no ball. And Hacroft's come a long way down. If he hits, he's run him out of a no ball, run him out by miles. Absolutely no hope at all there. Can't think what Collincroft was doing. Went meandering up the pitch. Desperate call by Haynes at the other end for him to get back. And again, that was a good piece of cricket, very sharp single. Both these two pretty quick between the wicket. Butcher doing good work there. So Haynes on 98, Willis the bowler. And he's going to get them in ones. Little tension, little nerves out there for Haynes. And it's through all right this time. That's his 100. And he gives a little leap of joy, Desmond Haynes. And everything off, helmet off, he's absolutely delighted. He's quite an emotional cricketer, Haynes. Burst into tears when he was run out up at Trent Bridge, and he's over the moon now. Good 100 this, 100 made out of 280. 3 men out at the moment. And Desmond Haynes, 100 has come up in 273 minutes. 12 fours, it's his 3rd Test century. His 1st against England, and only the 5th of his career.
Oh, that's got to be very close. No stroke played, but you can certainly be out WW.
And here it comes, and it's pretty wide, and it's in that rough again. And you can see how sharply that comes back. Very, very difficult to judge it having turned that much, but it must have been very close.
That's a good shot from Desmond Haynes. He's been very severe on anything loose in this innings. In contrast to some of the other knocks I've seen him play, he's taken full advantage of the loose ball.
Slightly short of a length. He goes forward. He's got time to get right back and really hit that.
There's no outfield, so that's quite a safe shot, and a very good one as well. Could have had an outfield and it wouldn't have mattered too much. But it's rocketed away over the top into that West Indian section. Is flowing out there for Desmond Haynes. .325 for 3, and the new ball being given to Bob Willis. For the left-hander Alvin Karachuan, there are going to be 3 slips and a gully. That is fairly wide. There's also a leg slip. Oh, well bowled, and he's gone. Well, he wasn't exactly rushing away from the crease, Alvin Karachuan. He had a long look back at the wicketkeeper and slips to see just why they were appealing. Well, Barry Mayer had no hesitation in providing Bob Willis with his wicket, and Bob Willis is just having a little word with the West Indian supporters. That's how it happened.
No doubt in the fielders' minds, they've all gone up for that one.
And it's gone, beautifully caught, 3rd slip. Graham Gooch takes the catch. Willis snaps up the wicket of Bacchus. West Indies 330 for 5. And a good fight back here by England this morning. Bacchus goes without opening his account. Sensible delivery there. A new batsman pitching it right on line. Side off stump, gets a little bit of extra bounce there. Flies away to Gooch at 3rd slip. drops the bat on it and quickly and anxiously gets away for his first run. And Haynes faces. Oh, a little flick at that, very cross with himself. But quite a useful ball again from Bob Willis. He's bowled jolly well with this new ball.
2 more overs were bowled before lunch, 1 from Bob Willis, 1 from Ian Botham. Just 2 runs added, 1 off the bat and 1 a leg by. That took it up to 335 for 5. We pick up play now in the 2nd over after lunch. 9 runs added, 344 for 5. Haynes is 137, Clive Lloyd is only 9, and it's Bob Willis coming in to bowl to him. With me in the commentary box is Tom Graveney.
That's a better shot. 3 super shots from Clive Lloyd, 1 off Botham and now 2 off Bob Willis, and all of them played from round about leg stump. Good running. And up comes the 350. 138 to Haynes, 14 to Lloyd.
And he's keen to run between the wickets. You can see him backing up. He's looking for a single all the time, and he's sort of felt that the initiative has passed a little, and he's getting it back now.
Just didn't quite time that as he would have liked, but there's no problem. Racing away there up to the pavilion. It's quite a feat to lift that bat, which weighs 3 pounds 3 ounces, let alone play a stroke with it. There's half a dozen rubber grips around the handle. I can just get my fingers round it so they meet. The timing is there today. In a word, if there were any Australian Test players here, they'd be starting to grin, because they'd know the signs of Clive Lloyd playing in what is certainly, I think, going to be his last match at Lord's. He played his last match in Australia at Adelaide Oval, and he started off just like this. Lovely stroke. That wasn't quite a half volley, but it was a very good shot from Desmond Haynes, and that's a good indication of the sort of touch he's in. 144 now to Desmond Haynes, 21 to Clive Lloyd, 363 for 5. West Indies having started the day at 265 for 2.
Well, that can't be a bad way of watching cricket, can it?
That's not the place to be. The spot where Bob Woolmer is if the ball flashes past your head and over the boundary at square leg. Great 6 from Clive Lloyd there. Just straight a little bit towards leg stump. And Bob Woolmer taking the appropriate evasive action. One ahead, West Indies. And there's more there. Willis having to do the fielding down towards his favourite part of the ground. Clive Lloyd having hustled Desmond Haynes through for the 3rd run there. Just checks to make sure that he's okay. That's his 150. happiness is 150 at Lord's. .406 minutes, 330 balls faced. He's hit 19 fours and 1 6.
Score now on around 150 as Botham comes in. And that's beaten mid-on, racing away. Butcher, little no hope at all there of cutting it off. Showing his great strength continually throughout this innings on the leg side. That's a beautiful shot again through the offside. Wide half volley and put away once again in devastating style by Malcolm. 158 now. Giving that a little bit more air than normal. Fairly wide, but made for the cover drive. Desmond Haynes facing Botham. Tucked away nicely off his legs there. That'll bring the 400 up. In fact, take it on to 403. Yet another boundary for Desmond Haynes. And the West Indies rattling along here now. 403 for 5. Those runs have taken just about 111 overs. A scoring rate of 3.6 runs per over. A little joy on this plumb easy pitch for Ian Botham. 26 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 103. Must seem a long time since he trucked Gordon Greenidge, LBW. It's hammered off the back foot. 4 more for Clive Lloyd. Little or no margin of error on this pitch. It's dropped slightly short. And Lloyd looking in great form here now. Goes on to 40. That's through all right this time, and that's a vital 4 for Desmond Haynes, because it takes his score on to 170, and that's the highest score ever made on this ground by a West Indian batsman in a test match. And one has got to go back 30 years to 1950, when the previous record was established by Clyde Walcott, 168 then, the present manager of this West Indies team. 170 out of 416 for 5, with power to add more. And indeed, that's beaten the England fielder again. And successive boundaries for Desmond Haynes. 174 now. He's taken the score on from today, from 92 on to 174. And that's 4 more, and it's 50 for Clive Lloyd. Just waited for that one to be dropped a little bit short and hit it again with ruthless power through the offside. Touch of the old magic here in Clive Lloyd today. Goes on to 51 out of 427 for 5. It's taken him only 86 minutes. Received only 64 balls, a 6 and 7 fours in his first 50 of the series. Boycott now to Haynes. So worked away for an easy single, a single in fact which brings up the 100 partnership between these two. So they've added 100 for the 6th wicket in uncommonly good time, just 88 minutes. They've put 100 up together.
Clive Lloyd facing.
And he's gone. Peter Willis got him with the top spinner. Coming in on the angle, round the wicket. And sliding it in at Clive Lloyd, who has missed the chance now to make a century at Lord's on his farewell appearance. Out for 56, bowled Peter Willie. There's a good start for Derek Murray, no fooling around there. Well, Haynes is the non-striker, Derek Murray is the striker, and it is to be in Botham. 450 up. Boycott's no chance of cutting that off. The theory of what Botham's going at there is not bad, but he's not bowling quite quickly enough, and he's not bowling on a pitch where the ball's moving off the seam. Bounce is quite predictable. Murray just loves to flash away there outside off stump. Good shot, that one. There's a good piece of chasing and throwing from Mike Gatting. That's a great shot. Haynes has waited for that. He's become a very patient young cricketer, Desmond Haynes, and a very good one, growing in stature all the time. And he's moved now to 184.
One more over bowled before tea by Willie. No more runs added to that total of 469 for 6. 184 to Haynes, 26 to Murray. And the first over after tea was bowled again by Ian Botham. Haynes is on strike, and here he is coming in to bowl the first ball. Your commentators are Tom Graveney, Jim Laker, and Peter West.
Botham. And a big shot, and he's given out LBW. Barrymore in no doubt at all. That one kept a bit low. And Haynes is gone at last after 8 hours and 10 minutes. .469. The end then of Desmond Haynes, out at last after batting for 8 hours and 10 minutes. LBW to the England captain, now applauding him generously as the crowd stands to him. .184. The biggest innings ever made by a West Indian in a test match at Lord's.
Roberts away, just working it down to third man. Coming back for the second. That's over pitched, a beautiful shot. Cracked it through extra cover for 4. Took that away very nicely, but in fairness, the ball was asking for it the whole time. Nice over-pitched half volley made for the cover drive. And that's edged and it's caught. Murray goes, Botham snaps up another wicket. And that was a very good catch there by Tavri. It went quite quickly off the outside edge. And that, in fact, is what Botham has been looking for. He's bought it in many ways because he's been put away very, very often by Murray on the offside, but the tactic in the end paying off for him. He's presented him with a full toss, which is very gratefully put away through mid-wicket for 4. Swung away, great big blow. 4 more. That's swept again from around leg middle stump. Inviting the shot. Both of them going very well after that. But all to no avail, but it was quite a sprint after a long, hard day out there. And shows he's recovered his fitness. Andy getting a little smile there. The 500 comes off the inside edge of his bat. Takes him on to 13, Garner 11, and the total on to 502 for 8.
Derek Underwood. Andy doesn't care very much where he hits you once he's going hit that away over extra cover, and now has gone on to 20. There's a good shot. I think Derek Underwood probably needs to come over the wicket to Andy Roberts, as he doesn't give him any room to get away and hit that all the way through cover and extra cover.
This is a beautiful stroke. Any batsman would have been proud of it. That front foot there. Bang. Not exactly elegant, but very, very effective and beautifully struck.
And there's another neat catch taken. And Bob Willis is just signalling to his friend out on the side there that he now owes him 3 blue ones. Joel Garner, the 3rd victim in this little betting spree by the England fast bowler.
Useful delivery, bouncing a little bit, and Joel never really behind it, and a nice comfortable catch for Graham Gooch.
Oh, middle stump, Underwood's first and only victim in this innings. Reward for some hard work there. And Andy Roberts, the man out, bowled by Derek Underwood. And the innings finishes at 518.
A nice little flurry there at the end from Derek Murray, 34. Didn't really have to face Bob Willis as much as he should have. Roberts 24, Garner 15, and up the top there, Desmond Haynes 184, a super innings that, looking better and better as he went on. And Vivian Richards we dealt with yesterday, 145, a marvellous knock, that one. The England bowling, Bob Willis bowled well, 3 for 103. Ian Botham 3 for 144, not as penetrative as I've seen him on many other occasions. Derek Underwood picked up the last wicket, 1 for 108. It's not often you have Underwood with 0 for 100 against his name in any test match anywhere in the world. And I was impressed today with Peter Willey. I thought he bowled extremely well, 25 overs, 8 maidens, 2 for 74, and picked up the valuable wickets of Clive Lloyd and Vivian Richards in that innings. Well, it was a nasty little 40 minutes at the end for the England openers, Boycott and Gooch. Here's Tom Graveney now with Jim Laker in the commentary box to take you through the first over. It's Roberts coming in from the nursery end to bowl to Graham Gooch.
And run straight away for Graham Gooch. Little forward defensive push. It's running away quite quickly and will allow them a very comfortable 2 runs. Boycott away. Found the gap nicely, wide of Gully. The long legs of Garner doing the necessary, preventing the 4. But good run in there between the openers. And Boycott's off the mark with 3. Oh, it's a lovely shot. Dropped it short. A really magnificent shot there from Graham Gooch. He was onto it so quickly, hit it well in front of square. And another gift for him. Yeah, he's made sure all right this time. That's 4 runs. So Garner with a predominantly off-site field. In there in length and line, and Graham Gooch making hay. Goes on now to 21 out of a total of 33. Rolled again from the end of the line. Nice full toss outside leg stump.
Well, one more over bowled, but no change to the score. 33 for no wicket, and the West Indies still lead by 216. A tremendous performance by them today. Graham Gooch 21 and Jeff Boycott 10 saw England through to the close. And there were 1 or 2 sticky moments. They played and missed, and the outside edge was found, but they're still there, and England are still in with a fighting chance of claiming a draw from this match. Well, the honours again today with the West Indians. England fought very hard this morning. At one stage they did well, picking up 3 wickets in a relatively cheap style, but the West Indians fought back with Clive Lloyd and the lower order batsmen taking command once again. The odds, I think, must be slightly on the West Indies to win the match, but the pitch is still so good that England could get away with a draw. No matter what happens, though, this is going to be Desmond Haynes' match. It's also going to be Vivian Richards' match and Graham Gooch's match. But Desmond Haynes, what a thrill for him. He made 2 centuries in New Zealand, and now, here at the home of cricket, he's made another one, and it's the highest score ever by a West Indian in a test match at Lord's. We look forward to having you with us again on Monday night for the highlights of this Cornhill Test. More dismal ground on a wet day, I'm afraid, and the 4th day of the second Cornhill Test match at Lord's really was a desolate sight. The rain belted down 3 or 4 times, only 35 minutes play possible, and the England side moved from being 33 without loss on to 51 without loss. Number 1 on the board, Graham Gooch, has made 32. Number 2, Geoffrey Boycott, has made 13, and that was the sight for most of the day, I'm afraid, after that 35 minutes. It really was very, very sad sitting here and watching the rain belt down, and the spectators huddled under their umbrellas, and on occasions they were MCC umbrellas. That was a nice, colourful part of the day. Well, there have been and a rather miserable weather forecast. That was what stood between the West Indians and their chance of victory in the second Cornhill Test match at Lord's. The 4th day yesterday washed out all but 35 minutes play, in the course of which England had moved on to 51 without loss. The not-out batsmen, Graham Gooch and Geoffrey Boycott. The forecast not good when the players got to the ground today. They were talking in terms of storms and the chance of heavy showers, and there had been an extremely bad storm around about 7 p.m. yesterday evening, and the ground was covered with hail. A marvellous job done by Jim Fairbrother and the Lord's ground staff to get the ground ready for play at the start, 11 a.m. this morning. Here is Michael Holding coming in now in the early part of the play, bowling to Geoffrey Boycott, 51 without loss still, and your commentators Ted Dexter and Jim Laker.
Overpitched and got away nicely through mid-on by Boyd. It's a long, long chase there for Backer. First run for the morning, 3 to Boycott, taking him on to 16. Graham Gooch taking guard now at the far end, 32 to his name, and there's a distinct promise once again in the sector. 2 glorious boundaries yesterday in the short time he was there. Powerful hook and a magnificent square cut. Again, quickly into his stride. Both batsmen quite confident, anything pushed round about leg stump. Piece of judgment there. That ball just climbed a little bit and did well to leave it alone.
That's one of the skills of opening batting. Certainly know where your stumps are and to let the ball go if you can. Let the bowler wear himself out.
England still 191 runs behind. The principal job here to occupy the crease for the day. And that's short. It was another magnificent shot. In fact, it's just cleared the ropes. Bill had him to wait there for a minute. And so it's very, very seldom that Michael Holden is hooked for 6 in front of square. And a shot well worth seeing again, Ted.
That ball didn't sit up and beg. It was onto him quickly. But we're really now seeing what an incredibly talented player Gooch is. He was playing bowlers half this pace and feeling perhaps he shouldn't hook. Perhaps it wasn't in his repertoire. Well, it certainly is now.
Played that well too. That lifted it quite appreciably. Got on top of it nicely. There's nobody down at third man. Gooch picking up 2 more. Richard's having to do the chase in there. There's a couple in this over is left by which have been fairly adjacent. And Big Joe not quite knowing what to make of that. Reasonably close. Well, that came back too, but fortunately Gooch pushing forward, and it would certainly have gone to his leg stump. Almost caught Graham Gooch by surprise. This pitch much further up, allowing him to go forward, but again you can see how much that ball came back. 7 wickets so far in 15 matches. Most test match bowlers, the average striking rate is about 3.5 wickets a test. He goes with really a lot of wickets for the man. So Garner well up with the best. And yet another. That's quite remarkable. That's 4 balls in this over that he's cut back quite alarmingly from outside off stump. Hasn't quite got the line right. And he's bowled it this time, the end of a fine over. My word, that's marvellous over there by Joel Garner. Had Graham Gooch in all kinds of trouble and finished up by knocking over the off stump. So Gooch goes for 47, bowled by Garner, and England lose their first wicket with the score on 71.
And this really has been a magnificent piece of bowling by Joel Garner. He's beaten the bat 4 times in a row, including 1 no ball. And that one, in fact, just clipped the pad. Otherwise, it would have knocked the middle stump out. Superb piece of bowling. And I should think the West Indies will be very happy to see the back of Graham Gooch, because he's looked in very fine form here. And he's had a very, very good game. Very good match.
Steered that away nicely down to a third man. Once again Richards having to give chase. And I should make 3 out of this. And a fine throw coming in right over the top of the stump.
Off the mark, Chris Tevery. And very wise. And Boycott out there not to come back. Backus is very smart in the field. Nice shot. And even though the outfield is slow here at Lord's, that was timed so well that really raced away through extra cover. Good piece of cricket that from Jeff Boycott.
Here's Jeffrey moving into line. A little bit off the back foot when he hit it, and he just walked into it at the end. but he timed it so beautifully it raced up the ground.
And it really is very dark here now. That surprised me at all if the umpires have a word about the light. And I think Jeffrey is just mentioning in passing that the clouds seem a bit heavy. Just fractionally short of Alvin Karachuan, I'd say. It didn't seem to carry, but we'll be able to tell a little better on a slow motion shot. Yes, well, it also seemed to go under his hands, but I don't think we can class that as a chance. Gordon Greenidge at second slip. Those slips are rather deep. For the fifth day of a match. Pretty certainly the ball's going to carry. The pitch is deadened out. Greenidge, the man in the white hat. And only about a foot short.
This is another very good delivery, but you can see that Chris hasn't really got right behind it. And I think Joel Garner must think there's no justice in this game.
And he's gone. Up goes the finger. Garner strikes again. Chavarri goes. LBW for 6 and England 96 for 2. Garner's threatened away here all morning. Receiving Gooch for duty and now counting for Chavarri. And the sort of ball, one just cutting back.
And Chavarri hasn't really gone forward or back. He's played very much from the line. And I think I'd hit him just in line with the off stump and probably would have hit the middle. He hasn't looked terribly comfortable this morning, and the West Indies have bowled very, very well at him.
Michael Holding coming in quickly. Michael having really to hurry there. I don't think Michael Holding did himself a lot of good. He seemed to twist and fall over quite awkwardly there. Holding in a position there to try and save the single. He's pushed wide of Fort, short leg by Boycott. Second delay and then cuts off the run and Holding comes in. Tumbles over. He's up and on his feet and appears to be all right now. Well, Boycott's enjoyed it. Nobody else did. So he goes on to 35. And very much the rock of England's defiance here today. And that's edged. And, very confident shout turned down there by Barry Mayer. Another look at it.
I would think he probably brushed his pad or the end of his boot at the bat there.
So a single to Boycott brings up the 100 for England. Comes up in the 42nd over. Takes Boycott on to 37. Guarded that away past Richards at third slip. The two easy runs here for him. Didn't have much joy in the first innings here. But for all that, has picked up some very useful wickets in his time. Enables Bob Woolmer to get off the mark. And that's taken in 25 minutes. Now there he goes, right to the edge of the return crease. And Bob Woolmer enjoyed that because it enabled him to get in position, clipping away square, and that'll bring him 4 runs.
A few people in the crowd putting on jackets, but no umbrellas really have gone up so far. You don't need an umbrella, do you, with that? And it catches the water and you can have a drink as well. Well, that wasn't a stroke that will have inspired a great deal of confidence in the England dressing room, but it brought Woolmer 4 runs. Played by Woolmer. He's very much a screw of the wicket player on the offside and off his pads.
Beautiful stroke this, but I don't think Michael Holding will be very pleased with the direction. Just moves an extra gully in, then pushes that one down the leg side, and Woolmer timed it beautifully and shot down to the boundary.
Wise, Jeff Boycott. No point in having a run out. The way this game's going along, wickets very important, so too a run, so they can wipe off the deficit and make West Indies bat again, if necessary. He can't stray further about the pads for Bob Woolmer. He's very strong in that area. Marcus Fielder, Peter Woolmer, the outfield down there at Tavern Stand side is very slow today. Great job done by Jim Fairbrother and his ground staff. Quite remarkable that the ground was fit for play at 11 o'clock this morning. With a lovely white coating over it last night at 7 o'clock. Thick with hail. Well-known leg spinner, Alan Knott, just twirling the fingers there. Michael Holding just pushing off from underneath the England dressing room. Splendid stroke that. That's a full value for it with slowness of the outfield. Nice firm stroke by Geoffrey Boycott. Right over the top of it. Incredible luck we're having here with the weather. Seems to be raining on all sides of the ground. The light is worsening. Umpire Bill Alley in the white cap, chatting away with Barry Mayer. And sadly, just a few moments later, the umpires had a word out in the centre, and all our fears were justified, and the players came off the field. A little light rain at first, and then really a very, very nasty storm. It threw it down, absolutely bucketed down for a while. Then we had hail, and it was an awful job for the ground staff and Jim Fairbrother, the curator, to get not only the pitch covered, but also the surrounding areas. And that's important not only for today, for the test match and a chance of a resumption,
in the game between West Indies and England, but also tomorrow, because here at Lord's we have the Benson Hedges semi-final. That's between Middlesex and Northampton, and the most important game for both those teams. So it really rained hard, and it was impossible in the end for the umpires to get back on the ground, leaving England 133 for 2 at the close of play. 49 to Jeff Boycott, but he played very well indeed. He had some extremely fast bowling to counter, did it very well. Once or twice he wasn't in line, but generally speaking, he played very well against the pace of Holding, Garner, Croft and Andy Roberts. Bob Woolmer, 19, not out, and 2 wickets there to Joel Garner. Gave a marvellous exhibition of quicky seam bowling out there this morning, coming in from the nursery end. Had all his rhythm just right. Couldn't have been better, and great sight. Colin Croft, a little bit stilted today, I thought. Didn't look to me as though he was completely muscle-free. 8 overs, 2 maidens, none for 24. Holding 15 overs, 5 maidens, none for 51. He picked up wickets in the first innings here, but didn't have very much luck in the second innings, and Andy Roberts, no wicket for 24. So, a drawn game, this second Cornhill Test match at Lord's, and quite a just result, actually. I'm rather pleased from the spectators' point of view that it hasn't become 2-0. England needed to get a draw out of this game. And don't forget that at one stage they were 165 for 1 on the first afternoon, having won the toss on what I'm afraid was rather benign pitch. And they then weren't able to make the most of it. Marvellous innings from Graham Gooch, followed by Vivian Richards, and then Desmond Haynes. And for his innings, Vivian Richards was awarded the Man of the Match accolade by the adjudicator, Tom Graveney, one of our commentary panel. And it must have been a difficult choice, but I did say to you after Richards' innings that I'd never seen him play better. It really was a super inning. And here at Lord's, well, we were in our commentary box, and the spectators were huddled around in the hail and rain, and we had this marvellous shot, if you can call a bolt of lightning marvellous, over the back end of the ground, and it was indicative of the way everyone was feeling, and indicative of the way the weather hit us here and hit Wimbledon today and spoilt sport for so many people. And we go to the third Test match to be played at Old Trafford on July 10th. Before that, though, the Benson Hedges semi-final tomorrow here at Lord's, and hopefully the ground will completely recover overnight so that game can get away on time. That's between Middlesex and Northamptonshire. A very important match there for both sides. So, plenty of cricket coming up, and we look forward to having you with us. Good night.